am starting a new routine today. I'm working on establishing more of a daily schedule for myself that helps me stay consistent and actually getting tasks done. And part of that is establishing a new fitness routine. So since I started my ADHD medication, I have not started any new workouts. And it's been longer than I'd like to admit, probably about 6 months since I was consistently working out. So this is the first time I'm starting something, hoping to maintain it consistently, ongoing, even if I don't do the same workouts every day, doing something, so I can get healthier. I was talking to a friend recently, and it occurred to me that it's not so much about changing my body and how it looks, but strength and energy. Like, these are the two things I'm going to be focusing on because I feel like those are the two things that I'm lacking, that I want. I used to feel really strong, and I used to be able to pick things up and carry things around fairly easily. And I used to just have a lot more energy. So I think physically helping myself get back to a point of feeling better, you know, feeling confident, strong, and energetic. That is the goal here. So I'm starting the GrowWithJo fast walk 3-mile workout, which it looks like it's about 40 minutes. And that's decent because I used to go for a 3-mile walk outside, and it took about 40 to 50 minutes depending on the day. But this also works in a lot of arms and movement that works the whole body. It's not just walking at a certain pace. It's fast and it's the entire body. I feel like my hand is shaking holding my phone, so I'm just gonna get started. So let's see how it goes. So I did want to show you about a minute or so of the movement in action. This is sped up about 6 times, so it's really more like 10 or so minutes of movement squished into 1 minute. But I just wanted to show the simplicity of each movement. You're alternating walking in place with other dynamic movements using both your arms and your legs at the same time. And I'm gonna sit down and give you a little bit more of an in-depth review right after this of all the different components of this workout that I really enjoyed and why I think it's a good choice for me, and not just as someone with ADHD, but someone who works from home and has my kids at home, and I'm looking to find something that I feel confident doing consistently, anywhere from 2 or 3 or maybe 4 times a week once I get geared up to it. But I will share my thoughts with you right after this. Hey there. So here I am. I did the GrowWithJo 3-mile fast walk workout, and I really enjoyed it. So I wanted to share my thoughts with you, give it a little bit of a review, and also compare it to some workouts that I have done in the past and why this one I think might actually be the best workout for me. So while I was doing the workout, I was analyzing in my head why I liked it so much, why I was enjoying it. And surprise, surprise, it all connects to having ADHD. So I think I'm gonna start with why I decided to try this workout. I watched a couple quick review videos before trying it myself, and it appealed to me because you don't need anything. You don't need weights, you don't need a mat, you don't need anything. You don't need to lie down on the floor. You literally just need to show up with your body and whatever you're gonna watch it on. So I really like that aspect, that I don't have to pull stuff out from my basement or my closet to get ready to work out. I can just start. The ease of that is very important to me. Workouts that I've done in the past that have required a bike or a yoga mat or weights or blocks, all these different things, I didn't mind it so much, but there are days where I'm like, if it's a matter of just getting started or having to take another 2 or 3 minutes to get all this stuff situated, in that time I could decide or get distracted and do something else. So the ease of starting was really great. I also wanted to do it because the physicality of the workout appealed to me. It's very rhythmic, it's very repetitive, and it blends movement that reminds me of not just walking in place, but aerobic dance. I love dance. I love moving my body in a way that isn't like super intense, but it is movement and that counts. And then kind of, I have to compare it a little bit to like when I was in elementary school. One of the things we did in gym was these Billy Blanks, oh, what was it called? It was like the kickboxing workouts. They were very fast and intense, but it was also very rhythmic and repetitive. So again, connecting that to the fact that having ADHD, knowing what to expect, having that repetitive movement, that's very simple actually. If you look at the movements that you're doing through the whole workout, nothing is hard. You're not having to get up and down off the floor and standing back up again. You're not having to like twist or contort into any strange movements. And it's all adjustable, which is important to me because just starting out, I can't go full tilt into all the movement. I was a photographer for 12 years and I did a lot of squatting and bending and kneeling and just using a lot of my knees and my hips. So once I get moving, that's the first place that I feel some intensity where I need to really be mindful of that and adjust my movements or take a 5-second break and then hop back into it. So the ease of the movement was really great. It was really important to me to feel comfortable and empowered. Like I can just start this and I'll be able to do it. There's no learning curve. There's no having to put different combinations of movements together. So like I said, I like to do dance workouts, and a lot of the dance workouts I used to do in like my college and 20s were all about choreography and learning the different movements and then putting it all together. And this workout, on the other hand, it feels rhythmic and dance-like without having to remember like, oh, this is coming up. What if I mess up going from this movement to this movement? It's not like that at all. It's focusing on one movement at a time, repeating that over and over and over again for anywhere from 20, 30, or 40 seconds. So about the technical side of the workout video that I also really like, there's a counter up in the corner that tells you how much time you're spending doing the movement. So you can keep an eye on that. And if it motivates you to say, okay, I can do this for 20 seconds, I can do this for 30 seconds, I can do this for 40 seconds, and having that kind of push, it reminded me while I was doing it of the Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt when she's talking about cranking, turning a crank, and how she would count 10 seconds at a time. I can do anything for 10 seconds. And that kind of stuck with me. So seeing that kind of countdown happening, I'm like, I can do this for 20 seconds. And that kept me going, kept me into it. The other thing that is also helpful, if you are nervous about what's coming next, anticipating what's next, 5 seconds before the countdown ends, so when it's getting to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, to the side, it shows you the next movement. And it always flows very easily. There's no like choreography to it. You can literally just stop the movement and start the next one. And what I love about Jo as she's doing the video, she's smiling, she's wiping sweat away. And there's times where she like pauses a second and like has to kind of catch up with herself. So it's not like anyone's expecting anything perfect. It's literally just move, keep moving, have fun with it, pause if you need to, and jump back in. Halfway through the video, there is a solid minute where you're encouraged to go take a water break. So they really want you to go intensely for 20 or so minutes, take that solid minute water break. I did some stretches. I kind of stretched my back, stretched my neck, did like a little bit of uncrunching, as I call it, and drank a lot of water, and then hopped back in. And the second half of the video is a repeat of the first half. So if you only have 20 minutes, you know that you can do this workout and get it done. The second half is the same thing. So whether you have 20 minutes or 40 minutes, you get to decide like how intense you want to go. And that was also a really nice thing, because halfway through the video, I'm like, do I really want to keep going? And then I was like, oh, it's the same thing. I know the movements. It's predictable. It's repetitive. I can do this. And these are all things that I had trouble with in the past with other workouts that I did. So one of the things I used to do was the 30-day shred, which is a Jillian Michaels video. I did that almost every day in my 20s leading up to our wedding, because I enjoy working out at home. I used to go to the gym, but I would only really run on the treadmill and do a couple of weight machines, but I really wasn't into going to the gym. So finding things that I could do at home that I felt confident doing and were fun. One of the things that people say about getting into a workout routine is that it's important to find something you enjoy doing. If you don't enjoy doing high intensity training, if you don't enjoy running, if you don't enjoy biking, like you have to figure out what are the things that I enjoy. How am I gonna make it all click in a way that I'm gonna look forward to doing this all the time? So that leads me to my next point with ADHD and repetitiveness, where instead of doing different things every day or every other day and mixing it up, I have always really dug into one kind of workout, and that's what I do. So this is the kind of workout I could picture myself doing, whether it's every day or every other day, knowing the predictability of it, knowing the movement is effective and it's attainable. Any level of fitness can do this kind of workout. I haven't worked out in 6 months and I was sweating, but I could do it. And I think feeling that empowerment of feeling like that push of confidence of like, this is good, I can do this, that definitely helps, absolutely helps. Because especially when you're getting started with a new habit, you have to find the ways to keep going and be consistent, or you're not gonna create the habit. I don't like the term falling off the wagon. I really don't like that term, but I think for me, it's a matter of if I stop doing something for a day or a week, then that turns into months. Like, I just stop, and that's the way my brain works. And I would convince myself like, well, there's no reason to try to hop back on because you're just gonna give up. So really finding something that you can be consistent with, that you look forward to doing, that you feel confident doing, and you know that it's not so much about changing your physical appearance. I think that's another big thing that, you know, the focus is shifting away from how you look, and it's more about how you feel. I want to feel strong. I want to have energy. I don't want to be sitting here talking and getting out of breath. I don't want to have to run upstairs to get something and come back down and be like, because that is kind of where I've gotten to in my life, and I don't like it. It doesn't feel good. I want to have pep in my step. I want to get out of bed with more energy, and, you know, starting this workout, having started my new medication for ADHD, I'm curious to see how establishing a new routine like this is different, because in the past it's really been a slog. It's really been difficult to get motivated, to keep going, to feel like I'm seeing any progress, because a lot of times I would stop doing it before I saw a lot of progress, or I would see progress and I'd be like, okay, I'm good, I'm done. So really changing my mindset of, this isn't something I'm doing to reach a certain goal of losing this amount of weight, or I know I default to the weight aspect, but shifting my mindset away from, oh, I'm gonna do this workout 3 times a week for the next 6 months to hopefully lose 50 pounds before my birthday. Instead of thinking it That way, it's a matter of what am I gonna be excited to do a couple times a week to feel good, so that hopefully 6 months from now, a year from now, 5 or 10 years from now, I feel good. I'm hitting a point in my life where my metabolism is tanking, and it's hard to find the time to be able to commit to something for more than 30 minutes without being interrupted. While I was doing the video, my son was asking me to turn around and read the text on the TV for the video game that he was playing. So really saying that this is something I'm going to do, that I'm gonna commit to, that I'm gonna establish as part of my everyday life. The way that I shower every day, the way that I cook every day, the way that I sit down and paint every day. You know, it's one of those things that for a while I was telling myself a story that I'm just one of those people that's never gonna be a fitness buff. I'm never gonna be the girl that people look at and think, oh, she probably goes to the gym a lot, or oh, look at her, like she's got it together. I kind of created this story for myself of being a hot mess. And there's a lot of different factors that play into that. But I think at this point, and it might also be the season changing and spring, it's not winter anymore, I'm feeling more motivated to actually make this effort and commit to it and follow up with myself. You know, some of it is having people in my life who check in and say, hey, how's it going? Did you do the thing today or this week? How do you feel? Like, what was challenging? Having these kind of check-ins to keep mindful about how I'm feeling. And also looking at it as, oh, I'm not gonna go and do a workout and then go upstairs and weigh myself. I'm gonna do a workout, and then a couple hours into the day, I have a reminder on my phone that's gonna ask, how are you feeling? How do you feel? Are you feeling good? Are you feeling energetic? Are you happy? Like serotonin, hello. Are you happy because you know I worked out this morning? I got some painting done this morning. I tackled this project that I've been dreading. Like it's not just about working out, it's about how we connect to all these things that we do in life. I don't know if this was helpful to anyone out there. If you're looking to get motivated to start a new fitness routine, a health routine, any sort of routine, really, the more I learn about how my brain works and how it affected things that I've tried in the past and things that I'm now trying moving forward, taking medication and understanding like triggers and things that come up that make me think like, well, maybe instead of working out today, I will do this other thing that makes me feel good, and maybe I'll work out tomorrow. So creating not just a routine, but kind of a schedule for myself where this time in the morning is set aside to move, whether it's doing this video or going outside and going for a walk, or going down to the basement and doing 30 minutes on the stationary bike. Because in the past couple of years, a lot of the routines that we had established in our lives got tossed in the garbage, basically, and we've had to kind of rebuild how we're gonna do this life thing moving forward. I know I use my hands a lot when I talk. It's just what I do, it's who I am. So sometimes I distract myself. I'm like, what is going on here? What are these? Sometimes it feels like my hands have a life of their own. So yeah, I just wanted to share that with you today. I wanted to share my experience doing this video. I do highly recommend it if you have ADHD, if you have not established some sort of routine and you're looking for a good workout that, I'm not gonna say it's easy, you're gonna sweat, but it's not the kind of thing to be intimidated by. The only thing I would say I was intimidated by is the fact that it's 40 minutes. And I know in my head that I'm counting every single second of those 40 minutes, like how much longer do I have to go? And going back to the actual workout, seeing that timer helps to not be thinking of the big picture of 40 minutes. It helps you think, okay, I'm in this 20-second segment, I'm in this 30-second segment, I'm in this 40-second segment. The only other thing I want to add about the Grow with Jo 3-mile fast walk workout is, and this is a good thing, every other movement that you do, it alternates between walking in place and then doing some sort of dynamic movement, whether it's, I'm gonna say like a adjusted jumping jack. You're not doing jumping jacks, you're never jumping, and you're never getting down on the floor and doing like crunches. Everything is standing. So I will say, if you have trouble with your hips or your knees, just be aware that you might have to take it at a slightly slower pace or take breaks, and that's fine. It's more important to do something than nothing. That's another thing that I'm learning. And there are times where she's moving fast and I had to tell myself, I don't have to keep up. I don't have to be timing all of my movements to mirror exactly what she's doing. Sometimes she moves faster than the music, so I would intentionally slow down to move with the rhythm of the music. That's another thing that, like, having done marching band for so many years and being a music kid growing up, like, I will more likely stick to the rhythm of what I'm hearing than what I'm seeing if it's off pace. So yeah, the alternating of movement between walking in place, it's like you get a mental break. You know, you're not having to like exhaust yourself constantly for 40 minutes thinking, okay, what's next, what's next? I know if I'm in the middle of something like this, that the next thing I'm gonna do is walking in place. And then I get like a rest. You're still moving, but you can kind of rest in that movement. So I really hope that if you find this helpful, if you go and try the workout, let me know how it goes. I'm gonna try to do it 2 or 3 times a week, combined with going out and walking outside in the mornings. Well, I have my little guy home with me still before he goes to kindergarten. In that way, I know that I enjoy being outside and getting that fresh air and walking in the woods or wherever. And then I know that I also have days where I have to come home and know that I can do something in 30 minutes, take a shower, and get to work. So there's gonna be a couple more videos coming up about how I schedule my days as someone who works at home, as an artist, who, you know, has different days that, you know, every day is not the same. So how do I make sure that I'm getting stuff done in a way that is productive, but also works with how I need to parse things out? Yeah, that's the word, parse. Fancy word. All right, so I did a lot of talking. Now I have some work to do, and I don't know if you noticed, but I got this cool video light that's off to the side here. So I'm trying some new things with how I set up my videos. So my face isn't like in a half shadow looking very dramatic. So the next few videos might look a little different as I do some tweaking and figure out how I want to do this channel moving forward. I'm playing around with some different setups over behind me where I paint. And oh, I just wanted to share, I listened to this awesome podcast over the weekend while we were driving. It was all about Bob Ross, and it was fantastic. I've always loved Bob Ross. I've always enjoyed watching his joy of painting. I've always enjoyed the calmness and the encouragement. And it just really solidified for me that what I want this channel to be is not the same as Bob Ross, but I want to give you that feeling of being able to sit and watch and enjoy, whether it's what I'm saying or what you're seeing me paint. What I want to do is encourage you to explore your creativity. That's been the core of my podcast and this channel for a while, but I think we're gonna take like a real jumping off point here of what you're gonna see going forward is hopefully, you know, a weekly or every other week dose of encouragement and inspiration and, you know, different ideas. We're gonna try different things, we're gonna play, we're gonna have fun. But I really just want to reach as many people as possible with this message that we are all creative and we can all find the things that we enjoy doing It's gonna look different for everyone, but I hope to encourage and empower you to try those different things and be okay with trying something you think you're gonna really love and finding that you don't, and that's okay. And you don't have to do it again. You know, I'm 38. It took me most of my 20s and 30s to get to this point of finding that I love painting and it's what I want to do, and feeling empowered in this time, in this world, to call myself an artist and pursue this as what I do. It's not just something I enjoy on the weekends or nights and actually gets pushed aside on the back burner most of the time. Like, you can figure out what you love and what you enjoy and figure out how to do it. So I hope to teach you what I have learned, share lessons that I've learned, share my experiences, and help you on your journey by sharing mine. All right, friends, this has been fun. We started talking about working out and sweating, and we're ending on a high note. So I hope wherever you are, you're having a beautiful day. Take care, and I will see you next time. Mwah.